Hey guys, I have received a lot of requests to show you how to make freezer to toaster pancakes. I mentioned that I made them in one of my day in the life videos a while back, and a lot of you asked if I would show you how to make them. And I love these. It saves so much time because let's face it, making pancakes makes a huge mess. You know, we have to get the flour out and we're standing there, flipping pancakes and everything. And we want to, have nice homemade pancakes for our kids in the morning sometimes, but we don't always want to create the big mess, and we just don't always have time to make homemade pancakes. Buying frozen, waffles or pancakes that we can just pop in our toaster is so convenient, but it can really add up, especially if you're like me and you have teenagers who eat, a few at a time, and those boxes are small. They only last a couple days and they're at least a couple dollars. So I'm going to show you my pancake recipe, which you could definitely, make your own, and I can just show you how to freeze it. But I know I have a lot of new cooks, and there might be some of you who don't have a pancake recipe that you like, and mine is very simple and it's very delicious. So I'll go ahead and start off with the pancake recipe. I quadruple my pancake recipe, and I'm just going to give you the amounts to quadruple it because we're making a big batch of pancakes so that we can freeze them, and if we're going through the trouble of measuring out the flour, we might as well make a lot, right? So in a large bowl, I have 4 cups of all-purpose flour. I have a ½ cup of sugar, 2½ tablespoons of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. It may seem like a lot of baking powder, but remember, this is quadrupling the recipe. And then in a small bowl, you're going to add 3 cups of milk, 4 eggs, and then 3 tablespoons of oil. I'm going to use coconut oil. You can definitely use canola or vegetable oil or whatever oil you like to use. And again, you can just go ahead and make your own pancake recipe. I would suggest making them maybe a little bit thicker just so that they will work well in the toaster. And this recipe makes nice thick fluffy pancakes. So if you're using your own, you might want to use a little bit less liquid just so that they're nice and thick and they don't fall apart in the toaster. So you'll just want to stir your dry ingredients together until they're combined, and then you'll just beat your eggs, milk, and oil together. And then you're just going to make a well in your flour mixture, and then you can pour your milk and egg mixture in there, and then just stir it until it's well combined. Now I'm all set to make my pancakes, and this is what you're looking for with your batter. This is, exactly what it should look like. And it might be a little bit lumpy, but that's okay. Just make sure that everything's mixed together in there. I like to use my electric skillet. You definitely don't have to have one of these to make the pancakes. You can just use, a large skillet on your stovetop. But this really helps because I can fit a lot of pancakes in here at once. I can usually fit 5 to 6 pancakes right in here. So I just wait until it's nice and hot, and then I just spray it with a little bit of cooking spray. I'm just using olive oil spray, but you can definitely just use your cooking spray. And if you're just making your own recipe, you can go ahead and just make pancakes the way you normally would. I do like to make them a little bit thicker, and keep in mind that you're going to be putting these in the toaster, so you want them, about the size of a piece of toast. So I have my 5 pancakes in there, and this is about the size that you're looking for. Just, medium-sized pancakes, but definitely not too big that they won't fit in the toaster. I usually use a 1/4 cup, measuring cup to get my batter onto the skillet, and it doesn't have to be exactly a 1/4 cup, but it just helps a little bit. And then I just wait until they're nice and bubbly before I flip them. So as you can see, they're nice and thick and fluffy, and you're just gonna flip them and cook them on the other side for a couple more minutes until they're done, and you just want to make sure that they're cooked all the way through. Once your pancakes are done, you're going to remove them from the skillet and put them on a cooling rack, and you're just going to let them cool all the way before you freeze them. And of course you're going to, have more than what will fit on your cooling rack. So once they're cooled, you can just put them on a plate and then freeze them all together. So once all of your pancakes are cooled, you can just put them on a couple plates just to make it easier to work with. To freeze your pancakes, you're going to need a couple Ziploc freezer bags and a few sheets of wax paper. So you'll just go ahead and put your pancakes in a single layer. Usually 4 fit, flat in one layer. And then you'll just put a piece of wax paper in between each layer, and then you can put 4 more pancakes on top and just continue until your bag is nice and full, but you can still close it. So I was able to fit 1 dozen pancakes in one of these large Ziploc freezer bags. So I have both bags full of pancakes and they're all set to be put in the freezer, and you're just going to lay them flat in the freezer. So I just put them right in the freezer like this. You can stack them on top of each other, no problem. They're in a single layer, so they're not going to stick to each other or anything because the wax paper is in between each pancake. I have never had a problem with freezer burn or anything, and we've had them in our freezer for, a few weeks at a time. So in the morning or whenever you want to eat your pancakes, you can just take out 1 or 2 or however many you want and put them in the toaster. You don't need to thaw them first or anything, and just toast them like you would bread, and they should be heated through. And it's as simple as that, with no mess when you want pancakes, because you've already done all of your work and you can just grab them when you're ready to go. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that you'll give it a try.